To that moment in court making global headlines tonight, a convicted war criminal suddenly drinking poison and then shouting a message to the judge.
Courtrooms, typically arenas of legal battles, can sometimes morph into stages of unforeseen drama and violence. It's not every day that the gavel's bang is overshadowed by chaos, putting the inmates unexpectedly at the center of their own courtroom narratives. Brace yourselves as we explore the tales of convicts whose fates met a dramatic end within the very walls meant to serve justice. Number 1. David Paradiso. David Paradiso's journey took a grim turn, spiraling into a tale of courtroom chaos and violence, originating from his arrest in December 2006 for a gruesome crime, the alleged murder of his girlfriend, Eileen Pelt. Their fleeting relationship met a tragic end in the back seat of a car driven by David's mother, Deborah Paradiso, who later professed ignorance to any prior disputes between the couple until that fateful day. In a shocking twist, David attacked Eileen, claiming it was a preemptive strike to save his own life. The subsequent events were shrouded in confusion and horror. Unfazed by the gravity of his actions, Paradiso coerced his mother to drive from Lloyd, California, to a remote location in Amador County, where he discarded Eileen's body. The coldness of these actions left observers aghast. To make sense of the inexplicable, Paradiso's defense attributed his actions to the influence of methamphetamine. Captured and charged, his 2009 trial unveiled further complexities. Deborah Paradiso had been deeply worried about her son's mental stability, noticing signs of deterioration and suspecting he possessed a firearm, a claim dismissed after a fruitless search of his cell. David's testimony in March 2009 deviated from his initial narrative. Abandoning his self-defense claim, he chillingly stated he believed Eileen deserved to die. This startling revelation prompted a pause in the trial, overseen by San Juan County Superior Court Judge Cinda Fox. Deborah's vocal concerns about David's mental state and her subsequent emotional exit added another layer of tension. During a brief recess, David seized the moment to attack Judge Fox with a concealed sharp object, stabbing her multiple times. The courtroom erupted into chaos, with several individuals attempting to intervene. It was Lewis Detective Eric Bradley who ultimately ended the assault, shooting Paradiso. Judge Fox, despite her injuries, was evacuated and recovered, while David succumbed to his injuries. The aftermath of this tumultuous event left a trail of devastation. David's family, especially Deborah and his brother Aaron, were engulfed in grief. They believed the tragedy could have been averted had the authorities addressed David's deteriorating mental health appropriately. Aaron revealed that David suffered from paranoid schizophrenia, a diagnosed and recognized condition, arguing that his brother's mental state should have precluded him from testifying. This harrowing incident raises poignant questions about the intersection of mental health and the justice system, the potential oversights, and the unforeseen consequences that can ensue. The Paradiso case serves as a stark reminder of the complexities and challenges that can arise, leaving a lasting impact on all those involved and prompting reflections on the adequacy of current practices in addressing mental health within the judicial framework. The courtroom, a symbol of justice and order, became a stage for a tragic drama, highlighting the vulnerabilities and potential oversights in dealing with individuals with mental health issues. The echoes of this case continue to reverberate, prompting discussions and considerations on the handling of mental health within the confines of the courtroom and beyond. David Paradiso's story, marked by turbulence, violence, and a tragic end, serves as a catalyst for reflection on the intricate interplay between mental health and the justice system. The unfolding of events, the concerns raised, and the ultimate tragedy underscore the imperative for vigilance, understanding, and appropriate action in addressing the mental well-being of individuals within the judicial process. Number 2. Brian Nichols. In March 2005, the echoes of gunshots within the Fulton County Courthouse in downtown Atlanta, Georgia, marked a chilling chapter in American legal history. At the center of this tragic narrative was Brian Nichols, whose life, marred by a broken home and brushes with the law, had spiraled into a series of criminal endeavors, particularly drug-related felonies. Born in 1971, Nichols had managed to graduate high school and even attend college for a brief period before the shadows of his illicit activities caught up with him. By 2005, he found himself facing a trial that would inadvertently become the catalyst for a series of horrific events that would grip the nation. On what seemed like a routine day in March 2005, Nichols was being escorted to the courthouse. Little did anyone anticipate that this ordinary transit would trigger a devastating chain of violence. The rampage commenced with Nichols overpowering a deputy sheriff, seizing her weapon, and ending her life. He proceeded to the courtroom, where Judge Roland Barnes and court reporter Julianne Brandau fell victim to his unleashed fury, both losing their lives. Nichols' escape from the courthouse ignited a citywide manhunt, plunging Atlanta into a state of terror and panic. Over the next 26 hours, a spree of carjackings, shootings, and a hostage scenario unfolded, with Nichols managing to evade capture while instilling fear across the city. The audacity and brutality of his actions dominated headlines as the pursuit intensified. The relentless reign of terror concluded with a surprising turn of events. Nichols, after kidnapping a woman in her apartment, chose to release his captive unharmed and surrendered to the authorities. The reasons behind this unexpected surrender remain a subject of speculation, with theories ranging from a change of heart to the realization of the inevitability of his arrest. The subsequent trial of Brian Nichols became a focal point of media attention, culminating in his conviction on all counts in November 2008. Despite initial claims of insanity, Nichols received multiple life sentences without the possibility of parole. The repercussions of the Atlanta courtroom shooting reverberated far beyond the city limits, leaving a lasting impact on the victims' families and prompting a nationwide re-evaluation of courthouse security. The ease with which Nichols had acquired a firearm within the supposed sanctity of justice led to heightened security measures across courthouses in the country to prevent similar tragedies. Moreover, the case shed light on the intersection of mental health and the criminal justice system. Nichols' defense argued that he was not in a sound state of mind during the murders, raising pertinent questions about the adequacy of the court system's approach to individuals grappling with mental health issues. This harrowing incident serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities within our institutions and the ongoing dialogue surrounding mental health in the realm of criminal justice. The shadows of that fateful day in Atlanta continue to shape discussions on security, justice, and the human condition. Number 3. Slobodan Praljac. Diverging from the usual narrative, this episode delves into the extraordinary case of Slobodan Praljac, a man who dramatically ended his own life during his sentencing hearing in 2017. Born in Yugoslavia in 1945, Praljac's early life seemed relatively conventional. He pursued higher education, became a professor, and ran an electronic business. However, the Croatian War of Independence in 1991 marked a significant turning point in his life. Praljac joined the Croatian military, swiftly rising to the rank of general and playing a crucial role in the conflict. However, his leadership was marred by allegations of war crimes, including attacks on religious establishments, looting, and assaults on civilians. He was also implicated in the notorious mistreatment of Bosniak men at a detention camp. After the conflict concluded in 1995, Praljac seemingly returned to a normal life, establishing businesses and authoring books. However, the early 2000s saw Praljac, along with 5 others, facing war crime charges by the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia. The accusations were severe, ranging from breaches of the Geneva Convention to crimes against humanity. The tribunal asserted that Praljac either orchestrated these crimes or failed to intervene, given his high-ranking position during the war. The trial, commencing in April 2006, spanned nearly 7 years, culminating in Praljac's conviction and a 20-year prison sentence in 2013. Despite having already served around 13 years and vehemently claiming innocence, Praljac remained ardently opposed to the ruling. In a shocking turn of events in November 2017, upon hearing the verdict, Praljac ingested poison in the courtroom, declaring, "I just drank poison." The immediate aftermath was chaotic, with Praljac being rushed to the hospital, where he ultimately succumbed to heart failure. Praljac's dramatic demise raised numerous questions and concerns, primarily centered around how he managed to procure the poison given the stringent security measures in place at the courthouse. Despite thorough investigations, the origin of the toxin remained a mystery, adding a layer of perplexity to an already complex case. Reactions to Praljac's death were varied. Some former ICTY judges viewed it as a tragedy, as it deprived the war victims of the justice they sought. Praljac's actions left a complicated legacy and a host of unresolved issues, casting a shadow over a tumultuous chapter of history. The case serves as a stark reminder of the intricate interplay between justice, accountability, and the human psyche, leaving us to ponder the lengths individuals might go to preserve their dignity and beliefs. Number 4. Claus Grabowski. Claus Grabowski's tale unfolds in Germany, where he was marked as a recurrent offender. Initially arrested for strangling a child, he faced probation, a seemingly lenient consequence that failed to curb his sinister inclinations. A few years later, he found himself entangled with the law again, facing graver accusations related to children. This time, the authorities exhibited less leniency, as Grabowski teetered on the brink of committing an even more atrocious crime, setting the stage for an unforgettable courtroom confrontation. Central to this grim narrative was Marin, born on June 3, 1950, in West Germany. Marin's life was marred by challenges, including a turbulent childhood, early motherhood, and subsequent adoptions. On November 14, 1972, Marin welcomed her third child, Anna, into a world of uncertainties. Juggling single motherhood and work, Marin's long hours left Anna fending for herself, often in the bar where her mother worked. The turning point came on May 5, 1980, following a heated argument between mother and daughter, leading to a fateful encounter with their neighbor, Claus Grabowski. Grabowski, seizing the opportunity, lured the distraught Anna into his apartment under the guise of playing with his cats. The subsequent hours were marked by assault and the tragic end of Anna's young life. Grabowski's crimes were swiftly uncovered, leading to his arrest and the commencement of a trial on March 3, 1981. In a twisted turn of events, Grabowski portrayed himself as the victim, claiming that Anna had attempted to seduce him and demanded money, threatening exposure. This appalling attempt at victim blaming ignited Marianne's fury, pushing her to take matters into her own hands. On March 6, 1981, concealed beneath her clothing was a .22 caliber Beretta pistol, a manifestation of her resolve to seek justice for Anna. As Grabowski entered the courtroom, Marianne unleashed 7 rounds, 6 of which found their mark, resulting in Grabowski's downfall. The courtroom footage captured Marianne's unwavering determination and lack of remorse as she was restrained. Subsequently, Marianne faced a 6-year sentence for manslaughter, serving half of it before her passing in 1996 due to pancreatic cancer. This tragic tale of loss, injustice, and retribution highlights the depths of a mother's love and the lengths one might go to seek vengeance. Marianne's actions, driven by grief and anger, serve as a stark reminder of the complexities of human emotions and the moral quandaries surrounding justice and retribution. The story of Claus Grabowski, Marianne, and Anna Bach is a poignant exploration of the interplay between crime, punishment, and the pursuit of justice. It delves into the human psyche, the impact of personal loss, and the moral boundaries one might cross when faced with unbearable pain. The unfolding events in the courtroom that day left an indelible mark on the annals of legal history, prompting reflections on the nature of justice and the human condition. Number 5. Michael Marin. Michael Marin's story is one of perplexity and tragedy, a tale that unfolds the descent of a man who once had it all. Born with a promising future, Marin embarked on a career on Wall Street, armed with a degree from Brigham Young University and a law degree from Yale. He worked for prestigious firms like Lehman Brothers, Merrill Lynch, and Salomon Brothers, amassing wealth that afforded him a life of luxury, including an art collection featuring works by Picasso and properties around the globe. Marin's adventurous spirit led him to conquer Mount Everest in the early 2000s, seemingly living an extravagant version of the American dream, complete with a family of 4 children. However, the facade began to crumble when he fell behind on mortgage payments for his $2.5 million property in Phoenix, Arizona. Despite his desperate attempts to salvage his property, including organizing a charity raffle, his efforts proved futile. In a twist of fate, Marin resorted to a daring and unconventional crime. His house was engulfed in flames, and he emerged from the inferno clad in diving gear, a sight as perplexing as the incident itself. The question arose, why would someone don diving gear to escape a house fire? Marin's unusual scheme was devised to escape mortgage payments by staging the fire, fleeing using scuba gear, and then collecting the insurance money to alleviate his financial woes. However, his plan quickly unraveled. The presence of readily available dive gear and the fire investigation revealing intentional setting in multiple areas of the house raised suspicions. It was evident that this was not a mere accident but a calculated act. Facing serious repercussions for arson and attempted insurance fraud, Marin found himself in a dire situation, with potential imprisonment ranging from 7 to 21 years. The courtroom proceedings in May 2012 painted a bleak picture, with Marin's fate hanging in the balance. The climax of this tragic tale occurred in June 2012 when Marin was found guilty of his charges. The verdict hit him hard, and his anguish was palpable in the courtroom. After consuming something and taking a sip from a sports bottle, his face turned crimson, and panic ensued. Despite the frantic efforts to save him, Marin was rushed to the hospital, where he met his untimely end. Michael Marin's story serves as a stark reminder of the lengths to which desperation can drive individuals, even those who seemingly have it all. It's a narrative that explores the complexities of human nature, the consequences of our actions, and the unpredictability of life's twists and turns. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.